Oh, hey viewers, welcome back to Branching Out with Curtis Hanlon. And I just wanted to take you on a little bit of a tour. It's the end of the summer, everybody's going back to school now, and show you some of the stuff that within a month or at the end of the month or something, we'll try to be getting some of these plants in the ground. Now, I got some boysenberry, and I forget what the other one is. I forget. Anyways, I also have these lilacs that we grew right from the sprouts that we dug up from our lilac bush. They're doing okay. A little bit of powdery mildew on them, but we can get rid of that. I got my lemon tree here. Doing really well. She's up to my chest now, but she is in a bigger pot. She's doing much better. And I've got a couple of currants here. And I believe that's a hascap. So you can see that little hascap, and then we get around here and those walnuts that I had put in. If you've been following my videos, these are the extra walnuts. Squirrels came in and dug them all up, little buggers. So then we got a couple of these are just little cuttings from the hascaps. They were from the winter cuttings, and they're the only ones that kind of made it. And I got a little edible chestnut here, another one over there, and I think I got 3 there so far anyways. So we'll be repurposing these pots for other cuttings. But let's get back to the back, because this is where it starts. I just keep these here so that I can get them going or get them started. So we're going to go head for the back now, and I'll walk around the corner. All right, so next step, right by my loft and my barn, this is my pawpaws, and these are all the ones that I put in this year. And like I said, with pawpaws, it takes patience. These things took almost 5 to 6 months before they started even sprout, and I had to pull them away from the wall and put a screen on the top, which I'll show you in a second. And I'm just trying to watch out that the bugs don't eat them all. You can see they kind of like the leaves a bit, but we have a fair amount that I made for this year. And then these are ones, and here's the shade. I just happen to have some of this material that I was able to get from work a while ago, a couple of years back. And here, I'll just show you the ones that I bought as well. Alright, so these are the ones I bought. I think I bought 12 of them. And they're doing alright. They're quite big. They're getting enough water. I got one here struggling from 2 years ago. I didn't do so good. The bugs really did eat the crap out of them. And yeah, so they're doing good too. So I got another 12 in here, and I'll probably plant a couple of them in the ground in the fall, but I might just wait until spring. So that's up in the air. These ones here, definitely another year or 2 before I even put them in the ground. Again, you want to have like a semi-shady area where you can get some sunlight, but not direct sunlight. And I know just the spot. So on this side of the hill, just as you're going up to my food forest, these were my very first trees that I put in here. And out of the 20, only 5 of them survived. One of them is an apricot, which is doing really well this year. And I was able to get my very first apricot on it. Even though the bugs kind of got at it at first, I still was able to grab a small taste. And it's all about the taste testing when you're out here in the food forest. And up here we got 2 peaches and 2 nectarines. And they get severe peach leaf curl this year, but I was able to take care of it. They also get frost damage every year, so I was able to trim through that. Now all of these trees here were only up to my knee, so you can see they're well over 7 feet now. So I don't know, they still struggle, but we just let them grow. So this here is one of our original apple trees, and it didn't, it produced a lot of apples, but they have already dropped. Looks like I kind of missed the opportunity to pick them. They got some red on them, so definitely lost some time, but I'll definitely try and get a bucket out of them tomorrow when I harvest. And of course, we got the stars of the show now that Gracie, our pig, has passed. And there's our 4 goats. They're very friendly, but yeah, they supply us lots of manure and stuff to fertilize our gardens. So we're under the apple tree, the main apple tree, and you can see all these water sprouts that I didn't get to this year. Now there's just so many water sprouts, and some of the big ones they shouldn't be there as well. You can see that thing's probably the size of a loony. But yeah, I needed to cut all that back, and then I need to do a good hard prune on a couple of these branches here at the top here. One of these dissectional ones here, I'm gonna have to kind of pick and choose which one I want. So you can see these ones here are kind of tangled up. I'm gonna have to decide which one goes, which one stays, if not both of them. Okay, so let's get on with the tour. All right, these are the edible chestnuts I put in last year that I grew myself. Stratified them in my own fridge at home, in my apartment, and they are up here, what we call basically aisle 6. But this is the nut side because we want all the dirt to kind of collate with the nut trees. So the nut trees kind of use the same soil. So either way, some are struggling, some are doing okay. We'll just hope that the rabbits don't kind of chew them up through the winter. But these were my very first ones, so I don't have any more of those. So let's get on to the rest of the tour. All right, these are the trees I propagated this year. Now these are all gala apples. That's what, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I had 8 of those. These are some of the other black walnuts that I was able to get without the squirrels destroying them. These are my edible chestnuts I did this year, which are all doing pretty good. And yes, I find that the mulch really does kind of help keep that moisture in there. Really kind of helps out. And this is my greenhouse, of course, if you've been watching my videos. And if you haven't, by all means, go back there and check out how I built this baby. It's one of my pride and joys. And then I got a couple other ones, and everything's hidden in weeds, so I'm going to definitely be doing this a little differently next time. Maybe find some skids to put them on, bring them up off the ground a bit. And we got some more dwarf cherries, some lavender. I got a couple elderberry in there, and an apple. Just haven't decided where to put the apple. Now there is going to be a time for me to start planting, just not right now because I'm trying to take care of other things, and planting is a little better when they go into dormancy, which is somewhere in October. These here are my northern walnuts. Now these are the ones with the thin shell, so these are the more edible kind, or the more acceptable kind. And I think that's another black walnut there, another black walnut over there. And that's where I grew my potatoes. And then I got my weeping mulberry, which I've always wanted. It actually gave me fruit twice this year. See, it's already still giving me fruit again. So, love mulberries. So I'm gonna get enough of those. Able to make some jam. I got another one here, and I was able to find another one that's down in the forest here. It's kind of struggling because it didn't get a lot of water. But we'll get down there and we'll show you that difference between an $80 tree and a $45 tree. I got that one at Canadian Tire on sale. So yeah, and then I also have my first bare roots that I tried this year. And what I got was 3 persimmon, which are just like pawpaws, very slow, super slow. So then you got this one here, it's doing really well. Again, I got 3 persimmon. I got 3 goji in the back here, or excuse me, gumi berry. I'm interested to try them out. Still some of my grapes that I propagated from last year, and these are quince, which seem to be doing okay. I got a little bit of a something there, a little knurl, but it's all right. I mean, as long as it doesn't attack the whole tree. But yeah, this ones will be going in this year too, hopefully. If not, I might save them for next year. The persimmon, I'm definitely going to save them because I don't want them to get damaged in the snow. So, yeah. And then we got Berry Hill. Everybody's been watching. Of course, before we get on over there, got our pawpaws. These are my first pawpaws. And I paid $200 for each of these. And this one here I hit with the bushwhacker, I think in the beginning of the season. And it's come back pretty well. So, I hope it keeps growing well, gets good roots. This one here, again, like very slow growing. I mean, I think it was probably about that size when I bought it. It got some really good rain this year, and it's doing okay. And here's my ponds, doing well. There's fish in there, little goldfish, and I got that's a Hazcap right there. There was a bunch of hascaps in here, but again, I hit them with the weed whacker because I couldn't find them. So you might not be able to see that. There's a little shadow there. So it's doing okay. It's come back really well. Got a nice little hascap. They're going to be everywhere. And some pretty flowers. Of course, I planted a lot of wildflowered seeds around to try and get the pollinators in here. And unfortunately, they just don't come to fruition. So let's get on over here. So I don't know what's been going on, but all my gooseberries all over this property for some reason have kind of wanting to die off. So let's hope that straightens out. If not, oh well. I'll have to try again some other time. And of course we got our blackberries here, and you can see we got some nice growth on these blackberries right here. And these ones here, I believe, are tip layered. Well, some of them are. That's pretty loose. We'll be looking for them to split them up. And we're going to taste them over here because I know there's a blackberry bush producing over there. Blueberries, using the pine bark to help with the acidity in the ground. And then more hascaps. And then here's all the stuff I grew this year, all the black walnuts, which again the squirrels kind of attacked. Once they got put out here, they just went crazy. They didn't get them all, but they got a lot of them. I just don't have the time to build a cage around it. And then these are all these maples. I got these maples right from a place where I picked up my blue barrels. They just happened to be underneath a maple tree, and I believe it was called a big leaf maple. So that's what we got over here. Now there are bulrushes in here, but I did kind of pluck out as many as I could, and now it's overgrowing with reeds. And this is my lily pad. I started with one. I know there's only about 4 there now, but there's probably 11 or 12 or more on a good day. And then my iris. I believe these are my irises here. But yeah, this is my pond, and you can eat the bulrushes. So, you know, at a certain point, if there ever comes a time, I'm going to be trying to forage for certain things. And if you can eat the root, I think you can eat almost all of it. But Google that one. So yesterday I got attacked by some bees, so I kind of took a break for yesterday. So we're going to continue the tour. And these are my first chestnuts that I bought. And they're doing pretty good. They were, again, only probably up to my hip. And now they're doing pretty good. Even this one here, that I had to tie it up a bit because it was really slanted and going off to the wrong direction. So I don't usually tie up trees, but in this case I kind of had to. So there's 5 of them all together, and you need a kind of a cross pollination. I think these were all going from seed, but I don't understand. The lady told me I should have a graft too. So this is a lockwood down here, this one right here. Apparently it's a lockwood, and I'm not really sure what the other ones are, but they're doing well. I should be able to get spurs off them either next year or the year after. So this is the Nut Valley right here. All right, moving on. So this is deep down in the food forest right here. It's not completely done. You can see I have many things to take care of, and some things I take care of in the winter time because it's easier to cut some of these bushes down and whatever if they're in the way, but they're not in the way, so I don't cut them down right now. Right about here on this side is where a path will go straight to the other side and up the other. On the left side of the property, it'll go up back towards the farm, and then down here is our runoff creek. So let's get down there, I'll show you that. So here's one of the grafts that I put in a couple of years ago, and it died off right away. I believe it was a cherry. And what's happening is I believe it's grown back out from the rootstock. So I just let it go to see what would happen, see what was going to grow, because hey, nothing else was growing, and I didn't have any real reason to kill it and put a new one in yet because I didn't have anything to replace it. So that's just one of them, and the other one is this one over here. So same as the other one, except this one's a peach. And I'm pretty sure this one little piece right here has come up through the rootstock. So it's just the grafts didn't quite make it. So So, but it's still got like peach leaves, so we'll see how it does. It's still alive and taking a while, but it might just come back, and if it doesn't, that's okay. We'll end up replacing it eventually if we have to. So we're down by our main entrance. We usually take this pathway down here, which we haven't used in a little while, to get to the back. So past this tree line right here is another 5 acres. There is one apple tree back there I gotta go take a look at eventually. And this is our back tree line, which also has apples and pears that I had hard pruned over the winter time and allowed them to grow back, so I can come in there and trim again this fall or this early winter. So yeah, so there's some more fruit trees in the tree line. Well, we got a little bit of a burn pile here. This is one of my lines of fruit and bushes down here. This is a mulberry, which I bought when it was like $10. It was just a little tiny thing, and I put a little cage around it. It's doing really well now, spread out. It's going to need a little bit of pruning this year to prune off some of those lower branches and help it shoot for the sky. This is again, I call this my mama pear, I call it, really. This is one of my first hard prunes. It goes to show that you can hard prune and they still produce. Not a lot of pears on it this year, but yeah. And then we got this other one beside it that we also hard pruned to try and just make it easier to pick the fruit. But we'll come back in and get a lot of those upright water sprouts. And then these are my second trees that I put in. So basically the first time I was building the food forest, I put these trees in. So there's 2 cherries, 2 plums, and this here is an apple. So I tied this apple up because it was also leaning like that that chestnut, and she's doing pretty good now. She's doing all right, not bad. Gonna have to cut back this bush a little bit to get in there. But yeah, you can see how thick. I got a little damage here from a deer coming in and rubbing its antlers on there, and it's still alive, still doing well. I tried to get some branches onto it, air layering, but the branches kind of fell off, as this one did right here. You can see this one kind of fell off just as it was starting to callus, and it just couldn't handle the weight, so it snapped. So we'll take care of that. And over here, same thing. This is a nice cherry. When I first started, these things were probably no bigger than a loonie, and right now they're about as big as a hockey puck, or as round as a hockey puck. Again, I lost another air layer because of the weight. This one here struggled. This is a plum that struggled, but then grew its own little branch on top of it and has been doing okay ever since. So I'll definitely let that one grow and keep an eye on it. And then the plum, which gave me plums the first year, but none the second. Now this one's doing really well. I got a nice little vase going on in here. As you can see, it's wide open in the center. Nice open center. And then my twin mulberry, which is right over here. Again, I believe these are just a black mulberry. Yeah, but they're doing okay too. Now they're about as tall as that cage was. There's a cage right here. Right there, so you can see it's come up probably twice as much, almost 3 times as much as it was when I started. Cleared out a lot of this area right here, because again, this is where that road goes, straight up in through here, and then up and around, and then all the way down the tree line. And some of my maple trees, which struggled down on this area, but are doing better at the top. I do have spares to replace them with. And then this is the mystery pear. So I didn't know what this fruit tree was for I don't know how long, until I topped it in the wintertime. I just decided to cut the top off, because hey, I didn't care if it died or not. And sure enough, started producing some pears. They're just little right now, but hey, it could be a good producing pear tree. And then again, we have this is kind of like a center pear here. This is more of a offshoot pear. Again, I did a really good hard prune this winter. And not a lot of pears this year, but sometimes they take rests, and you don't always get what you want. That's why we grow lots. And over here we got my wild asparagus patch here I've been slowly working on. Unfortunately, I just have a hell of a time keeping up with the weeding. These are my ever-bearing strawberries in my Culture raised bed style. They are layered. Some people kind of argued or had their own version of what they thought Culture was and stuff like that. And as far as I'm concerned, this is my version of it. So obviously I could do better and put them on the ground on a lot of stuff. But hey, we got strawberries growing right here. Taste test time. I'm gonna wipe that off. A little dirt never hurt anybody. Not bad. Not bad. But again, they struggle a little bit in here. I do believe a deer comes in here and eats the leaves off of these things. And again, weeding's a problem. As you can see, there's flowers on it, which means it's going to give me more berries. So it's continuous. We'll keep working on that. Again, with the weeding, I'm having a heck of a time. This is the peppers, and the beets are still in this one. I got some peppers growing, but it's getting a little chilly. I kind of put them in a little bit late. Zucchini's all done. I don't see any in there that I should take. So they'll just get turned over. And again, this one here was my potatoes, which did okay this year. I got some nice tasty red potatoes. And I didn't get to my last bed. I just didn't have the time or the energy to do all this work with everything else going on. And then we got some more. This is another grape trellis here. They're just regular Concord grapes that I have going here, but at home I have finger grapes, which are like moondrops or cotton candies. They're very sweet type of grape, and I just started germinating them now, so I started seeing results. So can't wait to get them. I'll probably set some of them up in one of these bins. I have 2 sets of bins here. They're not filled, they're not ready to be used yet, but we will hopefully by next spring have these all set up and ready to go. Maybe even find some type of watering system for that. Maybe attach it to my irrigation. And then as we go, it's going to go down this way here, and we're just going to do another line of basically everything that goes in, kind of like Berry Hill, where everything will be kind of in a row, side by side, parallel to each other. We got currant, we got white, black, and red currant here, and they're doing really well this year. And I even got some black currants off it this year. I got a pear here and a gooseberry, which has been struggling a little bit. So this here is supposed to be a jostaberry. Could be also a Saskatoon berry. Not quite sure. It seems to struggle in this particular spot. It's still alive. Got a few leaves on there. Just struggles though. It's the only peach that really put out any peaches, but I took them off because it was just weighing down the tree. And then we have here, now this is this is what they call a polar berry, which is like a white blackberry. So I can't wait to propagate some of them and spread them out. Lots of room in between each tree. And then we got I believe this is my plum here. I got a Shiro plum. This is those yellow plums. I did get 1 yellow plum on my other one down there. I only have 2 of them. So, and then I got my gooseberry, which is just kind of struggling. I don't know what the deal is. I'll probably cut that back a little bit and see if she comes back next year. I don't know why they're dying. Lasted a couple years and then decided to go kaput. This one here I believe is a cherry, and it died. It just up and died. So we also got another apple, which is I believe a golden delicious over here. And there's nothing in this guild. I tried beans, but the mice and voles, they just eat it right away. So we'll be working on that later. We'll come back to that one and try to figure out what we're going to do with it. Again, we got another gooseberry here, and I believe there's a little bit of a little rose hip in there too. So we'll see how that goes. And then we come around to my blackberry, which yum. This is time for taste testing. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to pick a few of these. Nice big blackberries. Oh yeah, look at that. That is a nice big blackberry right there. Oh my goodness.
and they just taste so much better in this here than in the store. These are absolutely my favorites, so I've been trying to propagate a lot of those. I have some in some cuttings being propagated right now, but I don't know if they'll be ready this year. I hope they will be. I got some callus on them, so we'll come back to those. Yum yum, because I'm going to eat a few more of those. There's a blueberry in here. Again, blueberries seem to struggle a little bit because of the soil. My weeping mulberry, which I hope it doesn't die. I should cut it back a bit. I don't know, I had some transplant shock. And right here on my trellises, on all my trellises, I put kiwi, cold hardy kiwi. They're ones, they're also known as a kiwi berry. And when they grow, you can just eat the whole thing, skin included. And then I got another little surprise here. I forget which one this is. I think it's a apple or pear, I forget, or a cherry. I got them for free because they were just kind of too rough. Same thing with this one right here. This is a little pear. When I got it from Ed Chardulo's, there was 2 little pears on it. You can see it's struggling a little bit, so we'll see how it goes. Just I got to get in there and do a little weeding, make sure that the weeds are lower than the tree. And then we got our pecan over here, I think we already mentioned. So definitely want to be getting more of them. Pawpaws across the pond there. Pond's doing well. Got to find a new way to get those bulrushes out, because that little hook thing that I had in my other video wasn't very good. I got to get in there and just kind of be able to pull something that can just rip all of that up. So, and then there's my grapes. Doing okay. Got lots of grapes. They're starting to turn purple, but they're not very big. So I definitely got to work on my pruning skills when it comes to grapes. So again, my weeds are just out of control, and I'm having a hard time, keeping up with all the work and still being able to get more plants in the ground. So, and then over here, we got another apple. I'm gonna have to tie this one up a bit, but seems to struggle a bit. And hazelnut. So we're gonna get more hazelnuts too. There's also almonds. There's a cold hardy almond you can get. I think I want to get one of those. Now this is also a hazelnut, and for some reason it always turns yellow sooner than the other one. So I hope it's not dying. I hope it's fighting. It's fighting to stay alive. And then we got, I believe, a peach and another cherry. And I had an apple in here a long time ago, a matsu, but I haven't replaced it yet. It got eaten by a vole. And this here, okay, so first, this is my other trellis, which has all those kiwis in there. So I just got to spend some time doing that. Got some raspberries in and out of here, so I got one there, a type of raspberry in there. There's a type of raspberry right here. Sorry, I missed this one over here. So again, I put the cages around it because I kept trying to clip them. Oh, there's even a raspberry on it. Well, there's a little raspberry in there. Yeah, we'll just plant it. It's a little beat up. But anyways, yeah, that's what we're doing with those raspberries. I just want to protect them, make sure they're not getting chopped down when I'm in here trimming away. So yeah, and then we come over here to my nectarine. This is one of my best trees. It grew the best. I don't know why, right there for some reason. It's very, very full. She needs a little bit of a prune. I'm going to bring them down a little bit. Same thing with over here. And let's just, yeah, I'll show you a few more. You can see this is like my last air layer. All the branches seem to have broken. Too much wind, too big a branch. I'm not really sure what the real reason was. Maybe it was too big, too small, I don't know. But that one still seems to be hanging on, so we'll let that hang on for a few more weeks and then we'll check her out. Hopefully we can get another plum out of it. This is, I believe, is a Santa Rosa plum. And it's doing well. I mean, the stalk on it is huge. Again, these are all started off about loony size. And she's really tall. But we're definitely going to want to cut some of that back, bring it back down a bit and open it up. And then we got a nice little peach. After that peach leaf curl thing that we went through, I pulled all those leaves off and it looks so bare, but then look what happened. It just plumed, came right on back. And we got elderberry. We got another, I think this is, I forget what kind of apple this is. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I think it's oh, this is my Fuji apple. my Fuji. And stay away from this stuff here. This here, that's hemlock. I know. And then right beside it, Queen's Anne's lace. There's a difference. Now I got this little stake in here because I know there's raspberries in there as well. And another nectarine or plum, I forget which one, or peach, I forget which one. And then we got our little Hascap guild here. And I forget which one. Oh, that's another apricot. The apricots seem to struggle a little bit. The only one that kind of made it was that first one I did. I think once they get really established, they'll be doing okay. So there's another apple right here. And more Hascaps. Again, back to my elderberry back over here in that little cage that I used to protect it because I kept cutting it. I don't even know if it's alive. But we'll be working on the elderberries too because I want to get a few more elderberries in here and working. So yeah, we got an apple and pear right in the background here. And the apples dropped really soon. It's a Macintosh, I believe, because the apples were really soft. It's the only apple that I know that come off the tree kind of soft. And not my favorite. And then another pear that I hard pruned in the winter, which didn't produce very many pears this year. And then we're kind of back again. So we'll get over here to our grapes. And I want to show you, I got some rhubarb in here, which I will be probably turning one of my barrel lines over here, one of these Hugelkultur rain barrels or blue barrels. Once I get them established, I might just establish rhubarb in them. So it's easier to pick, but here's the rhubarb here. And yeah, I got to get in there and do some weeding. A lot of lupins in here for nitrogen fixers. These are all lupins all the way along the edge. And we'll probably do some revamping in the winter on this product, this little line here, because there's logs in there and I don't know, I don't really like it that much. It's not very helpful. It kind of gets in the way a lot. And then over here we have Jerusalem artichokes. And these will come up kind of like a sunflower. It's a tuber, also known as a fartichoke, because it can cause some gastro problems, issues, or whatever if you don't cook them right. You definitely don't want to eat them on an empty stomach. But yeah, they're doing really well. They've come back, even though they were cut down to nothing. And then we're back to taste testing. Definitely want to grab some of these, so that's what I'm going to do. So on the left side here, I've been trying to plant my maple trees. I want them to be a nice line of maple trees so that, you know, and who knows, just before I die, I might be able to get some maple syrup. So yeah, this is the path going up in here, and I've just been going in and fixing up some of these little stumps and stuff that are in the ground so that the lawnmower doesn't get destroyed when I come over it. Again, this is a kind of a leaning pear. So it's the one on the side here. I did a good prune on it last year, cut the top off, and we definitely got to get in there. I didn't get to a lot of these water sprouts, which I've just been too busy. So not a lot of pears on this one. But I'm going to take you up to the main pear, which is the center pear. That's what we call the center pear. And it has absolutely a ton of pears. And right here, just in front of my greenhouse, Hascaps, another row of Hascaps, a couple of maple trees on either end. And then I have sour cherries, or dwarf cherry on each end, and that's a sour cherry. And then another dwarf cherry, which is struggling. So, but I have some spares. So we'll definitely get into that. So let me take you over to that center pear and show you what kind of yield we're getting. So this is that center pear I wanted to show you. She's just loaded with little pears. Now I'll pick a few, pick a bucket, and then I'll let them grow a little bit longer, because I should be able to get these for the next couple of weeks now. So this is what we're working on here. It would have been good if I came in here and, you know, took out a few of these pears, thinned them out a bit, and I'd get bigger pears. But they are so sweet. So we'll just pull one off here. They come off pretty easy, as you can see. Give them a little wipe down, and then there's my little pear. Now this stuff, you don't have to worry about that. It's just scarring. But oh my goodness, they're just so sweet. They are just so sweet. They're packed with goodness.
get to picking.
Alright, got a semi bucket here. The boys at work will gnaw on these for a week so I can come back and get some more. And each week they'll get a little bigger, a little sweeter. But yeah, there's just so many that I'm gonna slowly keep picking at these, and then we'll prune it back again. You can see all those water sprouts right there in the center there. You can't miss them, they're right there. We got to cut them down, make sure that the tree is doing well. We lost a big branch right here. You can see that big branch has been gone, and we broke one or two, came off. So yeah, it's just what happens when it gets overloaded, wants to break, and the old replaces, or the new replaces the old. So let's get down to the apple tree and see if we can't grab a couple of decent apples off the one that's down in the goat field, which is down in there. So let's get down there and see how many we can get. All right, this is the best apples I could find on the tree. There's, what are there, 6 there? And I'll just show you. What I'm getting is a lot of wormholes. So a lot of them are coming up from the underside and digging into there. And then you got other ones that are just kind of like completely bitten. And they're not my kind of apple if they got to do that. So I'm not really sure why it's doing it so much this year as any other year. I was able to get buckets of this stuff without that problem. So we'll work on it. Probably get some soap and water next year, do a little spray and give them a little boost and help them out. We definitely got to do a big prune on this, but that's pretty much it for this week and this tour. So you can take a look at our farm, and we're just heading out for the weekend. It's a long weekend. I hope everybody had a good long weekend, and I hope I see you next week. Be safe. See you then.